Good afternoon, Flosstube. This is Michelle at the Striped Rose, and today is March 26th, 2021. And today I'm filming the podcast from my mom's house and my dad's house. And this is my mom, Grenee. And we have our Ray Dunn mugs, and we have previous finishes and whips and some haul. And then at the end, my mom is going to show her other hobby, one of her other hobbies, which is junk journaling. And so if you're not interested in that, we'll put it at the end and let you know when it's coming. All right. So Mom, when did you start cross stitching?
Oh, probably probably shortly after you were born, when you were little, maybe.
In 1973?
No, it would maybe 77, maybe when Stephen.
Oh, okay.
When Stephen was born.
All right. And where did you learn about cross stitch?
Initially, well, my mom had done some cross stitches that were, the pattern was printed on the cloth, and then she just did crosses with embroidery floss.
Mm-hmm.
But the counted cross stitch, I must have heard about from, I don't know, a book or maybe in a magazine, but I think I initially taught myself what to do, and then I started, picking up other techniques along the way. And we were fortunate enough to have a cross stitch shop in Watkinsville for ages, so that was nice.
So first, we're going to show some of her earlier finishes. Here's one of my favorites. And the date on this is 1982. This might be the oldest thing I found.
Probably.
It's the oldest thing on the wall.
Yeah, probably.
It's got glass on it, but it's a no glare glass. And it's on Ada. And then do you want to show that piece?
Yeah, this was done a good bit later. This is well, no, it wasn't 86. I did that one for my in-laws because they lived in South Carolina, and then it came home to me when they passed away.
Okay. And
That would have been my oldest one right there.
well, this one's, it doesn't have a date on it. This is a pillow that's in the rocking chair in the living room that everybody sits on. So
that's old.
that's 80.
86.
86. I think you have a lot from 86.
I was prolific that year. So.
And that's probably a cross-eyed cricket.
Yes.
Okay. And then we'll insert a video tour of some other pieces that are in the house. And I wanted to show you a few of my previous finishes that are here. This is from the very first edition of Sampler and Antique Quarterly magazine. It's Bargello, and it is the called for colors that were in that first issue. This was when pin keep finishes were all the rage. This is a Little House Needleworks.
You have a date on it?
09, I think.
Okay.
And this, you can't believe you got this. So I gave you this. This is, of course, Shepherd's Bush, Old Glory. It's a kit. So that's the called for silks that came with it. And that is on the welcome wall that you have seen a video of. Okay. So when was your last finish?
It's probably something on the welcome wall. Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a long time.
Well, show us what you've been working on.
Well, what I've been working on is very sporadic. So this is my, oh no.
Well, just show it.
My big one. Oh, it's over in the bag. I don't have it.
Well, you'll have to walk over there and get it.
All right. This is something that I started because I thought, and I don't
The
have
pattern's in
pattern.
there. Yeah, it's in there. It's a
Oh,
sheepish designs.
yeah, this, I just loved this. I loved the message. Time has wings and quickly flies. And so I don't know why I started it on this fabric, but then I didn't like this. It didn't look as pretty as the one.
Oh,
on
the
picture.
mulberry.
Yeah, it was too dark. And the
I
one on
think
the
that there are
picture-
two different companies that produce mulberry, and I might have given you the wrong mulberry.
Oh, well, anyway, I'm going to pick that out and redo it with something a little lighter, I think. And then I guess I'm saving. Let's see. All right. So, I'll get back over here. This is the one that I've decided to finish someday before, if it kills me or not. It's a Quaker Sampler. And I started it years ago, and I think Michelle has posted a picture of it before on Instagram. I've done a little bit more since she posted the picture, but I'm not quite halfway through with it, I don't think, but I've been working hard to try to make some progress on this one. The hardest thing right now is just deciding which colors to use. A lot of people did theirs all in one color, and that was probably smart, because now I can't decide, which color blue to use.
So you're using the 930 range?
The 930s, yes. And then I have a darker one for I thought I had a picture here of there's the,
Oh, I like all the things on the side.
I know.
Have you started those?
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
there's quite a few of those done.
Oh.
But anyway, this is from 2008. So this is quite an old one.
And you said it was a Weinenberg or?
Yes.
Vienberg Quaker Mystery 2008.
That is probably,
No, Uncle Sam.
We're gonna get to Uncle Sam. She likes to hold this one over my head. This was a Alma Lynn, and it was patriotic, and I like patriotic. And this book is, I don't even know what year it's from. Let's see, 1991. This was Alma Lynn, and there's Uncle Sam down there. So I had great visions of just knocking that one out. Unfortunately,
I mean, you're pretty much done. What do you have left to do? But the back stitching?
Stitch is going to do me in, and I don't think I'm finished with the shoe. I decided to change the color. I didn't like the blue for the shoe. I figured it needed to be gray, so I matched it to the flagpole. And so one day he will have a face, and I can't even believe I did all those white stitches. I don't normally like to stitch with white, so
How many needles do you have in there?
a few.
But they're all in the selvage, so they're all
I like to
Well.
have needles at the ready.
okay. All righty.
And then the other one that she's going to taunt me with forever, I'm sure. And I may never finish this one, but I'll try.
Oh no, there's all kinds of things in
Oh
here.
no, we're not even going to look at those.
All right,
Some of
this
those-
is Margaret and Margaret.
Yes.
Is this the one with the lazy days? The French knots?
French knots. Yes. And
Oh my gosh,
I know.
Mom.
I know.
What do you have left to do?
A lot. There's a lot left to do. So, yeah, the French knots I think are going to be the end of me. So, but I haven't gotten to that part. I think they're the sheep. I've actually started one of the sheep down here, but they have little French knots for their.
I've offered to do
for
the
their
French
wool.
knots.
And I will take you up on that when I get that far. So anyway, but it's beautiful colors. I love the colors, and I love the border, and
Yeah,
it's
the
an
border's
alphabet.
pretty.
So, and I went through my Noah's Ark phase like everybody did at that period of time.
So tell everybody about how you stitch. Hoops, stands, Q-snaps in hand.
I've tried them all, but now I do in hand because it's easier, and it just is more convenient. So That's what I do.
When did you, I don't even know when I stopped using hoops.
The reason I stopped on that one is because you had already done it.
Oh, yeah. This is the Bless Our Home by Little House Needleworks. Yeah, I made that for you. Huh. That's interesting. And there's one more thing that I'm going to show you that she's tried to hide. I don't know why she's tried to hide this.
Because it's never going to get finished.
No, it's not going to get finished because it's on 32 count.
No.
It's not getting finished. But years ago, we decided that we were going to alternate blocks and do Village of House Run Hollow.
Hawk Run Hollow.
Hawk Run Hollow.
Yeah.
So who did this one?
You did.
All right, so I did the block, and I go to a Hawk Run, well, I haven't since coronavirus, but I was in a Hawk Run Hollow Georgia Stitchers group. And so I've been working on this on 40 count for about 2 years, this first, and maybe I'm having trouble because I have already stitched it. And then Mom started stitching.
I can't believe I did those little stained glass windows, but then I couldn't remember if I don't like to stitch in white, so I sometimes change it to, there's not an off white, but there's something,
3865.
maybe it's a four numbers. There's one that's a little bit softer
Oh,
than
yeah.
white, but I couldn't tell if I had actually switched to it or not. And I did a lot of the fence, and so that one's going to have to go into your
You
pile.
didn't do the fence, you left it blank. You
Oh,
just
did I?
left spaces.
Oh, maybe I decided not
Yeah.
to do the fence. No,
So, but I couldn't stitch on this fabric anymore.
because it's too big.
Yes, it's loose and it's 32, at least 32 count.
It's a big picture. I just wonder if we could pick that out and maybe you could have that piece. I mean, if you wanted to do something with it, I don't plan to finish it.
Maybe someday somebody at Goodwill will find it.
That's true. That's probably where it'll go. Yeah.
Oh, look, here's all the
No.
flosses. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I don't have any more surprises for you. All right, so I'm going to run through my whips really quickly. I wanted to show you, I don't think I had finished this on my last Flosstube, but this is Viola Martini by I think it's GGR. And she's finished and she's waiting to go to the framers. The framers is in Atlanta. Not always in a hurry to go to the big city. Oh, we should have brought the ornaments I made.
You want me to get those?
Do you know where they are?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. This was supposed to be February's ornament, Deck the Halls by Little House Needleworks. And it's almost finished for March. So this year my plan was to do 12 ornaments, of course, and to alternate a Prairie Schooler Santa with something else. So the next one will be a Prairie Schooler Santa, and it's going to be one of these. This one, because this is 1984 and this was the first one. And this one, because I just really like him. And he's one of this is 1914. This is 2014. And the Santas started really looking different around here. And I like them both ways, but I wanted to do one of the newer, different looking. They, I don't know, they look more realistic than Nomi, maybe. But I wanted to make sure that that we had some of both on my mom's tree. And this is a creative Carol bag with the Grinch fabric in it. And Creative Carol, it's creative with a K and Carol with a C on Etsy. And it's the small, I get the small 12 by 13 sizes. All right. The next one that I've got in the pile is my G Leger that sometimes I think I want to finish this year. I've worked on this one a lot, and I probably should cut the fabric down, but oh no, I stitched that. So I'm almost to the bottom. The pear is right here, and then there's a bottom border. So I've made peace with the light blue. All right, and here you can tell them about the ornaments.
Oh, well, let's see.
I wanted to go crazy on the Santas and put rusty jingle bells, and I had these branches with red berries, and somebody said no.
Just there.
So they don't have anything right now.
They don't even have a backing.
They don't have a backing.
But that's okay. Nobody can see them.
So that's Kansas sunflower. We lived in Kansas for 4 years.
We should have put the date on the back of what Santa it was.
Well, we can when we
That's what
put the
we'll do.
felt on the
Yeah.
back.
And
then those two. So there were 4 from last year. So I'm hoping to have 6 this year.
that one has a dove on it. So that was my mother's maiden name was Dove. So
It still is.
it still is.
She's
yeah,
almost 93.
still is. And then these were presents for me. One, I think Thanksgiving one year you made this one in 17. Of course, you gave that to me at Thanksgiving, which
That was
loved
from
it.
a just cross stitch
Yeah, I
needleworks.
love that one.
Just cross stitch.
And then these
magazine.
were, I guess, Christmas presents because they're both 18.
That was Little Miss, and see, that one does have felt on the back. That was Little Miss Mushroom, and that was a freebie from somewhere. And that was definitely a
That's beautiful.
just cross stitch
And I love the
magazine.
ribbons and the bows on those too. So they're all a little different, but the Santas will be consistent, I guess.
But not with rusty jingle bells.
Well, we could put rusty jingle bells on them, but
All right, we're going to cut here to a picture of the antique sewing machine that's in the kitchen.
oh,
And above that, I hope, is where the For the Birds is going to go. I'm doing it all on one piece on fawn. And I don't have a lot done. Fawn 40 is definitely tighter than other 40s, but I tried to find a smaller needle. And I'm really enjoying all the blues. I don't even think I've showed you. Look at all the blue
oh my.
threads,
I love that.
all the different blues.
Yeah, I could get into that. Wow, that's pretty.
And here is the first one that I'm trying to figure. Maybe a 3-month plan for, well, I only started this one in February, so I'm not too far back.
Stitches are so tiny.
This is really, I think if I get picture this plus linen again, I'll get 36. Usually I don't like 36, but I think I might have to for picture this plus. This is one of my new Creative Carol bags. I love this fabric. I think it's Andover maybe. And this is fabric that I sent her. I'm very excited.
That's very pretty.
Look at that little bird.
I like that.
And this is, maybe one day this will go at your house because it has a gold house. But this, I don't know who ate that. This is Summer Schoolhouse. And of course, I'm not doing it 1/1 because, I mean, why would I? Why would I do it 1/1? And I'm still working on the Sandcastle house. And I just really want to do that strawberry pin cushion. That's the whole reason I'm doing this piece, is for the strawberry pin cushion.
Oh, you need to keep that one at your house.
I don't have any more room at my house. And
That's small.
I'll show you the next one. I showed it to Mary Margaret and I said, do you want this one for your house? I'm trying to finish this one up so that I could take it to get it framed with Viola. And she said, you can't just fill my whole house with your cross stitch. And I said, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
You can fill my whole house with your cross stitch.
This is Jane Austen fabric, the Jane Austen inspired fabric. And this is her handwriting. This is fabric made from one of her letters. And I sent this to Carol. And this is, hello, this is my sister and my niece. Kendall, did you bring any projects? Well, bring them over here whenever you're ready.
I'm in school.
Oh, you're in school right now. Okay, well, we'll do a video of you and insert it in here. This is 100 Ways by Plum Street Sampler. And I'm really, really trying to finish this. And I've got most of the fiddly full coverage done. And so I just need to do the words. Did you see this one? Remember, it told me that I
Oh,
couldn't fill her
yes, yes.
house with it, but she said she would have that one.
Yes.
She would have that one.
That sounds like
She would have that one. And then the last thing that I've worked on is berry bowl. This is the first year I think I've just completely and totally not done any rotation, just done whatever I wanted. Whip Go for this month was G Leisure and then Flag Folk. I forgot to bring Flag Folk. And I don't know why this is so slow going. The baskets.
that makes me think of the sampler up there on the wall.
Oh, we'll have to get it down. Or we can.
I don't think I
insert
can
it.
reach it.
That's where I am on berry basket. The baskets are just slowing me down. All right, and then I've got some haul to show you because today is my birthday. And this year I decided I wanted to order things and have them on my birthday. So I've already got them. And then we'll do your junk journaling, and then we'll let Kendall show her craft projects. The first two things are what I ordered from Market. I only ordered two things from Market. Julie at Gulf Coast Stitches is my Market girl. She was very disappointed in me, and I was very disappointed in me. But this one, I used to have dozens and dozens of great aunts, didn't I?
Mhm.
I mean, there were just dozens of
There
them.
were a lot.
And so what I want is I have another fantasy cross stitch wall idea. And my mom is not on board with this all the way, but I want to start on English samplers, English and American samplers that have English and American girl names. I want to substitute some of my great aunts for those names. And you tell me that I can't sign somebody else's work to something that they didn't do.
No, I just, I think it's fine. I mean, you might want to put.
That's not what you told me.
Well, I mean, you might want to put a note on the back that
Oh, I will.
this was so-and-so's sampler.
That
and
I've
I
done
changed-
it in
changed the
honor
name.
of them.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm doing
that's
it in
good.
honor of them.
And that's good. I like that.
And you had a very, very religiously strict
And
aunt.
yes.
I mean, they were all religious, but she was very religiously
this
strict.
one was a holy roller. Yes.
And she, my cousin Dusty tells a story that he had brought a girlfriend home to meet my grandmother, and he heard somebody beating against something outside, and she had her hoe and was knocking on something to get his attention. And he came out with the girl, and she yelled, "Are you right with Jesus?" And he said he just that girl didn't stay around long. I think she was a little alarmed, but we've talked about, that's what she always asked. Are you right with Jesus? And
She kept my little buns on the straight and narrow, I can tell you.
that's about one of the most worthwhile things to
That's
say.
right.
So I want to do Iris Naps. There is not one righteous, no, not one. I definitely want to do that sampler and put her name on that one because she would be on board with that.
She would be.
She would be on board with that. This one, my great grandmother, whose married name was Dove, but I wouldn't put her married name on here. I would just put Noni Alice Abernathy on this one. I want to do this one with her name on it. I've already got one finished for your mom that I did.
Remember her. You remember my grandmother.
Yeah, I was 13 or 14
Yeah.
when she died. So I want to have a great aunt wall, and then this great grandmother. There was another great grandmother that was kind of scary, but I don't remember the other two because they died in the 60s, I guess. So mostly a great aunt wall. This is the only other one that I got from Market, and I need another huge one. Like I need a hole in the head. This is Carriage House Samplings, Kathy Barrick. This is just so Kathy Barrick to me. And I just love it. And I do want to get some of the NPIs, I think, because this dress is so beautiful, but the DMC called for is 320. And that's just not that color. So I want to get the NPI at least for that green in her dress, because that's just beautiful. All right, so those were just Market haul, which even though it's in March is completely separate from birthday haul. So this is birthday haul.
All right.
Strawberry Fields Forever. Bella is the world's biggest Beatles fan. And she has been since she was about 5.
That'd be perfect.
And I said, oh, I could do this one for you. And she said, no.
No, it doesn't have real Beatles on it.
Yeah, she said that has nothing to do with the Beatles. And I said, well, it's called Strawberry Fields Forever. So I'm just going to do it for me. This one, could you imagine doing this one and substituting one of those blues for the red? Wouldn't that be pretty? Little deeds of kindness, little words of love, make our earth an Eden like the heavens above. You could knock that out.
Oh, sure.
With those alphabets?
Yeah, I could knock that out, right?
But what if you did it in blue instead of the red?
Well, why don't I finish this other sampler and see if I can still see? So,
all right, the next one is not birthday haul. I was mad about something. This is not birthday haul because something had made me mad when I bought this.
the news, the world.
I don't know what it was, but there was a specific, because I texted Laura, the cereal starter, and told her why I was mad and why I was getting it. But Junebug on eBay has tons of reflet de soie. Reflet de soie, that's my Appalachian French. And they're always discounted, at least 10%. So they're like $12 or $13 for a reflected swatch chart, which I always think is really, really good. So that was anger management. That was not birthday. This is birthday. I've been waiting for a long time for this one.
I love that.
This you've all seen hanging behind Brenda and Laura, the cereal starter at Brenda's house, because Brenda owns the original sampler. I liked it, but then I saw somebody on Instagram had done it. And instead of one of the alphabets, they had changed it to a line from, I think, a poem by Mary Oliver. I'm not really familiar with her, but it said, so you've got this classic traditional sampler, but instead of one of the alphabets, it says, tell me what you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. And I just thought, wow, I loved it. I just absolutely loved it. So I really want to do that. It calls for 40 count sand dune linen from Lakeside. I think I might do it on corn tassel. I'm not sure because that would be a lot easier. All right. And so the last of my birthday haul. So really my birthday haul was Little Deeds, the one I just showed you on this one, because they were all a little more expensive, these 3. So I saved them for birthday. This is Dark the night and wild the wave, Christ the boat is keeping, trust in him and have no fear, though he seemeth sleeping. So that's a good one. I could put a great aunt under that one. But it has, it's 4 colorways are given. There's a Facebook group that you can join, and people show their color choices and their fabric choices. And it's very inspiring. Even if you don't plan on stitching this anytime soon, it's very inspiring to see all the different color choices. Because some of these, I think there's a navy and an orange. They're really bright, vivid colors. And some people do those vivid colors and some people tone some of them down. Some people, I think the raspberry stitcher, I don't know if this is one of the ones where she substituted some colors to put her preferred purples in. But this one is just really, really beautiful. So those are and then this one was not birthday. This one was because this is a $32 sampler. And that's a lot of money for a sampler.
I was looking at the prices on some of these. One of mine was $4.50. One of the samplers. It's so old, but yeah.
Well, it was $32, and so I was waiting until there was something really special. Sassy Jack's had a sale. It may still be going on. It was $19.
Oh, that's
a huge sale.
It is.
What's the percentage of that? I don't even know what the percentage is.
It's more than I can figure.
Yes, that's so I thought $19. That's my special occasion. And it came with all the little things, and I've dropped half of them out, but it's a hands across the seat sampler, which means quality charting. Quality charting. And it came with this from Sassy Jacks. This is the one that's in Weaversville, North Carolina, that we could make a day trip to.
Make a field trip.
That's
Yeah, I
our
like that.
closest needlework shop now. But it came with some different things. It's huge. This is one of my stash beyond life expectancy. Stash acquisition beyond life expectancy. So Sable, that's what it is. But I'm really more attracted to the red European schoolgirl samplers. But the Bristol orphanage samplers have such a special story. And this is the one, I knew this is the one that I wanted to do because I figured if I'm going to do one, I'm going to do one that's huge. I wanted one with the Bible. And of course, I always like a red and white spotted cow. This is the one I wanted to do. It's got the Prince of Wales, 3 feathers. It just has everything on it. And it was $19 instead of $32. So that's my haul. All right, for this segment, I'm going to introduce to you my niece, Kendall. Kendall will be 13 in a week. And she is a very crafty girl who's interested in all sorts of different crafts. She has a sewing machine. And she, what else do you like to do? Paint.
And I do just basically all of the crafts.
Okay. All right. So show us some of the things that you brought today.
I brought this. I made a lot of these. They're like just little girls that I make them fun outfits and backgrounds. And this one, the hair is from fabric that was washed, like all the little leftovers, the strings, that's the hair. And then it's just a heart mouth, and the face is from a book page.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, let me see if I can hold that up. So maybe they can see the book page there. I didn't notice that at first. I like that. I love her hair. It looks like cross stitchers sometimes they save all their little snipped off threads and put them in a glass ball on their Christmas tree. All right. And the next one.
And then this is another one. It like the little headband on this one. All of them are different. I just put whatever on them.
And so this is torn fabric.
It's the sari silk.
Oh, this is the sari silk. Oh, Granny let you into her sari silk.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the dress is a piece of lace that has some ink and glitter on it.
Okay. Do you hang all these together in your room?
No, they're in a stack in the lounge currently.
Oh, I would think these would look great.
We haven't decided where to put them yet.
Oh, I think they would look great hanging up together.
I can't put them in my room anymore.
Why?
We're painting it gray this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
And this is probably my favorite one. And I just like the gigantic bow.
And that's sari silk too?
And I don't think this is. It might be, but it's a different type. And yeah, for her hair, it was just like the normal red. And then on the edges of it a little bit, I got a brown ink and rubbed it against it. So it gave different texture.
Oh yeah, I think these 3 would look great together, hanging up. I think they'd look great. All 3
Yeah,
of
I
those
don't know where to
girls.
put them.
Oh, all right. And was this? Oh, these are Shiloh's.
These 2 are.
Well, we'll let Shiloh show those. Did you bring anything else you want to show?
No, because the other 2 of them are bad.
I'm sure that's not true. All right. Well, we'll get Shiloh back here and see you in a minute. We're back for another segment. This is Ramses. You know Ramses. And this is Ramses' twin, Shiloh.
And there's
Shiloh is my younger niece. She and Ramses are twins. They were separated at birth, somehow or the other. And Shiloh has many, many art projects, but Kendall brought 2 projects today for Shiloh to talk about. So which one would you like to talk about? And how old are you, Shiloh?
I'm 11.
She turned 11 in November. All right, so just pick one of them up and tell us about it.
this is my Easter bunny, and I made it like this last weekend, and it's an Easter bunny, and she has two Easter egg bracelets and a bow up there, and then a pearl necklace, and then
He doesn't understand why you're not giving him all the attention.
this is one that I haven't finished yet.
So it's a whip, a work in progress.
And these are jelly bean Easter eggs. It's like a candy Easter one. And then these are supposed to be peep clouds, but I haven't finished it yet, so I have to still add eyes and mouths and all that. It was gonna be just Easter eggs on the bottom with colorful clouds, but then I just decided for it to be candy because I got a good idea. And then, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Shiloh, for being on my podcast today. Would you like to come back sometime?
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you. And we will see you later. Bye.
She didn't tell me how many junk journals I could show you, so.
We got all day. I can't
No,
see on
we
here
don't have
how
all
much
day.
time we've taken, so we've got all day.
First of all, I have to say, this is the perfect example of the student far surpassing the teacher.
In stash?
No, well, in stash. Well, I don't know. I had a lot of stash in my time. A lot of it's gone to your house, but I still have a few patterns up there.
Well, Sheepish Designs, I think I've told y'all this before. I was really annoyed when my mother stitched a bunch of alphabets. I was a kid. I was like, why is this grown woman doing all these alphabet samplers? What is wrong with her? And I think seeing some Sheepish Designs lying around the house, that was my first love of samplers, was seeing Sheepish Designs. So now I understand why you stitched all those alphabets.
And now she has most of those alphabets, I think, are the sheepish design.
Oh, I definitely do. I've got 2 3-inch binders full of Sheepish Designs.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm very proud of Michelle and how far she's gone. She knows so much more than I do about cross stitch now, and she, all the little acronyms just roll off her tongue. And I'm like, what is that she's talking about? And then I say, oh, that's one of those overdyed flosses or something. So,
well, you're actually much more interested than overdye than I was.
I think it was just, thinking that I needed to have it to use. I tend to think I need to have everything before I could start using it.
Are you going to let me film your craft room?
No. No, you can film it when you clean it out. Anyway, so
wait a minute. Tell everybody why you taught me and my brother and sister to cross stitch. One time you told me that you did it so that we would leave you alone.
We could all stitch together. That was my ultimate goal, that they would want to sit there quietly and stitch with me. And I don't know that it worked out exactly that way, but they all finished projects and I was very proud of them. And
Stephen finished a big, I don't think it was a Teresa Winsler, but it was that quality.
He did a dragon. It's absolutely gorgeous. We should get a picture. We should tell him to send us a picture.
We can do that.
So we
can do that.
And he still has that framed. And then he just never did any other cross stitch. And Jennifer finished a Precious Moments and a squirrel.
Koala. Kirby Koala.
Kirby Koala. But didn't she do a Precious Moments, or maybe I did that?
No, you did that one for her.
That was
that make a joyful noise with the goose.
Anyway, so Michelle has been my inspiration for many things over the years. She seems to have inherited my mom's affinity for craftiness, and she knits and crochets and does everything. And so she went through a phase where she was doing scrapbooking. And that's kind of, I loved it. It was gorgeous, but there were way too many rules for me. And I thought, no, I can't do this. This has to look so perfect. And
this is the woman. People say there are no cross stitch police. And I'm thinking, wow, where is this place where there's no cross stitch police? When I was cross stitching, the first thing my mother would do is turn it over and look on the back, because she said the back should look as neat as the front.
And it should. And I think that came from my mom.
Oh, the first thing that she
So-
does is, well, let me just look at your back. She does that with my crochet. She'll say, I picked that out.
That's what my mom says. She'd pick it up. Yeah, no, I did want her to be neat, weaving the threads in and things.
And
like
later
that.
I learned that was so it wouldn't show
Show
when you
through.
framed, and also so that you wouldn't have weird pull marks, places where your
Oh.
cross stitch linen was pulled because you did something weird.
One of the things that
Oh.
I forgot to mention about this one was I got to a certain point and I realized there was a hole. And I think it's in that motif right there. There was a hole where I think I had accidentally clipped a thread and I accidentally clipped the linen. And that was a bugger to fix. I had an idea about what to do to fix it, but then I saw another lady online who actually clipped threads from the side, and then she wove them in and anchored them under other stitches.
Did you weave it in all the way to the length of the piece?
No, I just started where there was some stitches that I could run the end under.
Oh,
So I just wove it in up and down both ways because there were like 4 clipped threads, and that was a bugger, but I did it.
I don't know if you can say that, because I think maybe in England, people from
Oh.
England watch this, and that might be a bad word there.
Sorry.
I can't remember if that's
Sorry.
if that's a bad word.
It's a booger. Let's put it that way. Anyway, so Michelle was doing, she had these beautiful scrapbook
And now I'm getting sad.
scrapbooks. And she did all the things for the children, and I loved it, but I just thought, oh no, I could never do that because everything has to line up. And why are you saying?
Because I don't do that anymore.
Well, it's okay. It's all right. You moved on to other
I moved
things.
on.
So I started with, and I don't know if I brought one down here. I somehow discovered art journaling, and I got the little book and I did all this, and that didn't, I couldn't get excited about that. And then somehow I discovered what was called junk journaling. And it's a way, it's kind of a creative memory keeping type thing, but it's also just a way for people to be expressive. So a true junk journal, and this is a true junk journal. This is not the first one I made, but this is made from a famous Amos cookie box, and it's filled with junk mail. This is the definition of a true junk journal. This is an old coffee, a packet that coffee came in, advertisements, and I did cover the inside with some scrapbook fabric, or not, scrapbook
Paper, yeah.
paper, scrapbook paper, and anything.
What is
goes.
that? So like from just an advertisement?
Yeah, hey there, it's probably junk mail that came, and then this, just all kinds of things. So this is how junk journaling kind of started. I think,
Marco's
where-
Pizza?
Yeah, everything's fair game. And then they got a little more sophisticated. So this one is, this one I did for a swap. It was supposed to be made out of junk. And this was a Pier 1 flyer that came, and I turned it into a journal. That's the back, sorry. And I used scraps, not scrapbook
Ooh, what's the
paper.
picture? Is that like
That's just an advertisement.
oh.
So I used advertisements in this one. And at the end, when I was ready to send it off, I decided that I would not participate in the swap, that I wanted to keep it. So that happens. I did another.
So you're one of those people.
Yes, but I didn't, I hadn't committed to a partner at that point. I had just, said I would be in, and the partners had not been assigned, or I
And so
would not have
it looks
dropped
like
out.
it's zigzagged on the sewing machine.
Yeah,
Around the,
Yeah, I stitch more on paper now than I ever did on
and
fabric.
that's
So,
stitched.
so the thing about junk journals, and a lot of them are not junk. Some of them are very elaborate. A lot of the ones, if you look into the craft, if you go onto Etsy, some of them look like there was an explosion in a lace factory. I mean, there's just so many lace, and now there's a lot of slow stitching going on and embroidery. And I mean, it's just gone wild. But this is one of my favorites. This was a Christmas journal that I made for myself, and I made it out of a 9x12 envelope. And I just went crazy with this one. This was one of the first ones that I really.
So you sewed fabric onto
Well,
a 9x13?
actually, I covered the fabric in heat and bond. And then I covered the envelope in a little light batting that could be covered. And then the fabric went on top of the batting, and then I ironed it over, and then I stitched around on the inside. So this one actually has a lot of nice papers. I've used this one. So there's some scrapbook papers that came out of a calendar. This is a piece of wrapping paper.
We save all the wrapping paper at Christmas and tissue paper.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, they're always gifting me things, and it's just little mementos that I enjoyed, sometimes for decoration.
And there's some of the girls want a page
Oh,
that you've
wait.
used, a page that you've, yeah, that's
I
one you
put
mentioned.
photos there of the girls at Christmas. And then this, I bought a pack of Christmas cards just so that I could cut it apart, because it made a great journaling spot. So this was one of my favorites. I love that, but I still have a lot of cards. But really, you can just do whatever. And this was just something that I really enjoyed doing. I've made a lot of journals and given them away. I don't sell them, and I won't bore you.
No,
with-
just show some more. If they get bored, they change the channel,
Okay.
and they might
Well,
come back
let
to
me-
it later.
Okay, let me just show you what let me show you what one of the 9x12 envelope journals looks like. Here's the cover. It's just very simple. It's just
So a 9x13 envelope, are you talking about?
9x12.
So that is that like a manila?
Yeah, manila envelope. And there's all kinds of directions if you ever decide you want to make one. A lot of people cover them with paper. I didn't have good luck with paper because it tends to crack and you have to cover it with something. So this was my favorite for a while. And then you get your papers together, whatever you want to use. You always have to have, found papers.
Tell them how you made this, or is that a trade secret?
No. This is just there's a technique called coffee dyeing where you dye just, 8.5 by 11 copy paper in coffee or tea. And this year I actually decided to use some inks. And that's probably my phone. Sorry, I forgot to turn it off. And I used it to make just paper, and it was a lot of fun. There's again instructions out there for all those things, but this is what's called a signature. You put all your papers together, and then you can stitch them into the journal. But again, that's probably more information than you need right now. If you're not, if you're new to this, it's just there's a lot out there. I did want to show you my current journal. What I've been doing I discovered this last year. A lady on Etsy was doing this. She was making a journal every month and putting her, just putting her memories and things in the journal. So I can't journal daily. I journal when I can, and mostly if I can get a picture in or some way to remember it. But I ordered this paper because it was all about the pandemic, and it came in a little paper kit, and I had stickers, and then I chose this paper and this paper to use for the journal. And this is basically just, I think it's called a traveler's notebook size. It's maybe 8.5 by 4.5. I think I made it just a little bit bigger, but I've kind of reinforced it all the way around. But this was I love the little stickers and cards that came with it. This is a tag that I made out of a piece of junk that came in the mail, and I covered it with coffee dyed paper on the back, put a little tab on it. Someone I ordered coffee dyed paper from someone when I just didn't have time to make my own. She sent me the little paper clip with my first name. It says Deborah. And she's actually, I think she has these in her Etsy shop now. She will custom make your, make your word.
I wouldn't have known that was, oh, yeah, I can see it now.
Oh, so it was a nice surprise that came. But anyway, junk journals always have journaling cards.
Did you just show that?
No. I didn't
Okay.
show that. Tuck spots, and this was a little card that I put in there that I wrote on the back about when we got our shots and things like that. So
COVID, not rabies.
yeah. COVID, yeah.
Somebody might watch this later and not know about coronavirus shots.
This was my husband's birthday, so I just filled it with pictures and little thoughts and washi tape and anything that you can find. I got a package in the mail from Junk. They're called Junk Sisters Journals. They have a lot of fun things, and I had gotten a package in the mail, so this is all about things that came in the mail, some old wallpaper, lace, different things. And I just filled my pages up with it.
And you also found a bunch of ledger paper after
yes.
from your father's auto parts shop.
You can't do a journal apparently without doing ledger paper. So this was this is my 50th wedding anniversary. So I just commemorated it that way.
And that was last week.
Yeah, this came out of an old calendar. And when I saw it, I thought that's got to be, that's just us. That looks like us. One of them's nice and slim and the other one's a little husky, hefty. Whatever.
Ever since I was a teenager, I've told everybody that I was born a week after y'all got married.
Yeah.
But this year, since everybody knows it's your 50th, I'm not making that joke because that would make me look that would make me look like I was 50 this year. So there were a couple of years.
She was actually born 2 years and 1 week after. And
suddenly that joke's not funny to me anymore.
Anyway, and this is an example. I haven't written on this page yet, but this came as a nice surprise. Michelle saves me all of her. She saves me all kinds of things. Yes, but you wrote on the back, this was the little thing that went in there. And when I saw this, I thought,
that's Bella's handwriting.
Beautiful. Well, whoever, I just thought this is a beautiful card, and I'll put it in here and use it as a.
I yelled at her. Well, I didn't yell at her, but I fussed at her, and because I said to use a sticky note, not one of my good thank you cards.
I didn't know.
I've got a pack of cards like that.
Oh, well, darn. See, if I had known.
Maybe I'll write you a thank you card for my birthday.
But it's a great way to use up just whatever you have.
Seed packs. I forgot to bring you some seed packs.
I've got a seed pack in one of my journals that
was the pansies we just planted at my grandmother's house.
And this was a page that I loved. It was just brown paper that I put in there. So that's tabs. So you can tab over to the, certain. So I would like to say, because I know she's watching, she's an avid cross stitcher, just say hello to my friend Joanne, who, when I started getting into junk journals, I used to binge watch her
the name of it?
Videos.
Crafty Hodges.
Crafty Hodges, yeah, Crafty Hodges. That's who she is. She's not making the junk journal videos any longer, but they're still out there on YouTube, and they are fantastic. She's just fantastic. But she's doing other things now, and she was a big inspiration to me when I was getting started. So they can be as simple or as elaborate as you want. This is one the little girls and I did one year for the beach. We made it out of a paper bag. I don't remember, this had something in it. But this was somebody's artwork, and then just stickers and things we picked up at the beach, so that, it was just fun. And it was something we could do every night. If you have children at the beach, it's a good way for them to collect and record their memories. And I don't know where I found the tutorial for this, but it was, I think, a Trader Joe's. It's a Trader Joe's brown bag, and just tied the papers in. They both have one. This turned out to be mine after the fact, but they both have theirs, with them. So I guess you have one of the first journals that I made, the one I made for your birthday. It's just little. It's not. But then this one was my first hardcover one. And it was made from 2 vanilla wafer boxes put together. And then I did cover the outside of this one with paper. So
it looks like a photo album. Those photo albums we have. That's what it looks like.
So, but the thing was always vintage. Everybody said, everybody talks a lot about vintage. That's an example of coffee dyed paper that's been punched. Yeah. And everything was coffee dyed in here. Everything was vintage. I haven't used this one. Some of them are just, they're like little pieces of art. I love the journal making almost more than I enjoy, recording the memories, but I enjoy doing that. But I do.
Is that a real postcard or did you buy that one?
No, that's a real one. That's an old postcard. Oh, well, I probably bought that one though, but it is a real one. It's like from 1939. And so a lot of people will, just fill their journals with ephemera. The one thing that I have in here that I'm really proud of is my mother's, and I don't know where it is exactly, but it's her report card. And I made a copy of it. I didn't put the actual report card in here. This is her report card. And I just glued it onto a harder card. But the thing that was so funny to me about it was on line 5, that is not my grandfather's signature. That is my mom's signature. So and the thing that we also love. In deportment, she got a B. So we were,
and she got A's in her subject matter, but deportment was a B.
Deportment. So
we can imagine why.
Yeah, this was 1944. So this was, a lot of people will use the actual vintage piece, but I wanted to be able to preserve it. So I just made a copy for my journal, and I'm perfectly happy with this. It's just, it always makes me smile when I look at it. But anyway, it's a lot of fun, and I'm just excited that it's something that I've found that I feel very comfortable with. But the bad thing is, like, there was a brown paper bag that came in today with them when they brought lunch to the house. And I looked at it and I said, oh, this is perfect. I could make a journal out of this. And so the recycle bin is no longer in the kitchen. It's in my craft room because I keep carrying boxes and, this little Girl Scout cookie box. I thought that'll be a perfect little journal. And so
tacos, we were at a Mexican restaurant. My dad had fish tacos, and they had some printed papers under the fish, and she had an absolute fit. And she took them away from my dad, and then you asked the manager if you could have some more of them.
And they did bring me people are usually pretty nice, but the found papers to me are just so much fun. I love when actually Mary Margaret, I picked up from her, Michelle sent a goodie basket for me of things that she was getting rid of. And
goodie basket meaning trash.
Yeah, things that she would have thrown away, but she knew that I would enjoy. And I remember Mary Margaret said there were some Latin books in there, but I didn't think you needed to tear those up.
They were Latin books that you had bought at a library sale to tear up. And then you wanted to know if I was going to use them. And then I was giving them back to you. And Mary Margaret just thought it was sacrilege to.
And you can use, this is an example of a book that was turned into a journal. And I didn't do anything to the cover. This was the cover. I did cover the spine with fabric, and I covered the inside with scrapbook paper. But this was a book, and the pages were taken out, and then the signatures were sewn. Well, they weren't sewn in. They were actually put these little eyelets in, and then we just laced the signatures in so they could actually be changed around. And this is one of the big things, people like to decorate the spines with, they make sometimes they add charms, or sometimes they'll make a tassel or something, but it's a wide open field. So this is just to kind of, show you what I love to do now. So that's why I don't cross stitch. I've been trying to cross
You're
stitch more.
multi-craftual, multi-crafty, multi something.
I'm not sure, but I'm trying to cross stitch more because I really would like to finish my sampler. But anyway, thank you for letting me join you on your birthday. Happy birthday.
Well, we've been joined at the birthday for a while.
We have. We've been joined at the birthday for a lot of years. So,
So thank you for watching. And y'all will not want to come back and watch when it's just me anymore.
oh, I'm sure they will.
So, all right, we are going to go and celebrate and eat birthday cake. And I hope that you will see some wall tours of some of my mom's larger samplers, and also some of my niece Kendall's crafts. And I'll see you back in several weeks, maybe 6 weeks. Thank you. Bye.